Hey everybody, it's Emily the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today with our African nightcrawler bin. And the first thing I noticed when I opened it up today is that there's a lot of castings on the wall. I think they've been climbing. And also, there's not a lot, but there is condensation on the lid, which I'm not used to. There's a little guy up here as well. So I wanted to dig in, see how they did on that feeding last week. And similar to my European nightcrawlers, I'm going to move these guys into some 10-gallon bins today to see if we can manage it a little bit better. So, if you remember, I put in a bunch of toilet paper and paper towel rolls last week on top of our feeding. So, let's see. Got some nice looking worms in here. It's incredible how quickly they can turn food into castings. I know our food is down here in this pocket. If I do remember correctly. I thought I fed in here. Let's see. Doesn't look like I fed there. Maybe it's even lower. Let's see. I see the remnants of a banana peel, it looks like. So, woo, holy cow. Now so look at this African nightcrawler. Explain this to me. How does this happen? His tail is a completely different color. It's like somebody cut and glued together two different worms. Never seen this. So if you have, I would love to hear what you think I got going on here. Very, very strange. Okay, so does look like this was our feeding down here. Holy cow. We do in fact have a worm ball down here, guys. Look at this. Hold on. I'm going to lift this up. There are just worms all over this. A lot of babies. You see those thinner, smaller worms? That's incredible. Then down here, we got banana peel. They're all over this. And there's some more food that they haven't touched yet, or they've touched it, but they haven't worked through too well down here. And I'm going to zoom in because I'm noticing a little bit of some larvae down here as well. Which you guys saw how much I had everything buried up, so I'm surprised about that. Most likely fruit flies because it is right near all of this fruit that we have. But, it's funny because there's one of my beetles. He's moving nice and slow. We can look at him, and there's some larvae there as well. So I'm curious, since all of this was frozen, how I keep having this happen with the larvae. But the biggest thing is that I've been keeping it very well covered, so I'm hoping that if in fact they are coming in on my peels, that once they hatch, they won't be able to go anywhere. But look at that, it's gross. But it happens, guys. I try not to worry about it too much anymore because all these problems come in waves and you can usually fix them up just by covering your food well. And it looks like this week I'm definitely going to skip a feeding. I'll move them to their new home. They've got plenty of food. And, we'll take it from there. But that worm was like crazy with the half and half. I don't know what that is. So if you guys have ever seen that, let me know. But there's a lot of worms in here. So let's get these guys moved into some 10-gallon totes, just like my European night crawlers. We'll split this bin half and half. I'll try to split the food up as well. And then we'll take it from there. I'm going to cover this up for a minute because I need to go get those bins ready. And since we see some larvae, we definitely want to keep it all covered. So I'll be back shortly and we will take a look and put them into their new bins. Okay guys, so this is the exact same situation that I did with the European night crawlers, but I made these 2 bins up for the African night crawlers. My brother was visiting, so he helped me drill all the holes, so we are good to go. Hello. So let me get the worms out of the big container into these 2 new bins. We'll take one last look and add some bedding, and that will be the update for today. Okay, so I split our big blue bin here into 2 of these 10-gallon totes. Similar to what I did with the European night crawlers, I just kind of eyeballed the amount of food and worms that I transferred to each bin, but I tried to keep it relatively equal. I laid some of the newspapers and stuff down on the bottom, but everything looks pretty good in that one. Over here, same deal. Let's see. Here's some of the banana peels, lots of worms, and I'm going to cover that back up. But yeah, everything that I found in the bin, if I could split it evenly between the 2, I did. The one thing I am going to add now is just a little bit of coconut coir, I think, to the top of each of these bins. It will absorb some moisture, discourage some of them from climbing if the moisture builds up on the sides of the bins here. They were relatively moist, but they weren't nearly as wet as I thought they would be. So let me top this off with some cocoa coir. We will give them another week to finish the feeding that they have, and then we will be back next week for the full update. All right, so we have our 2 bins here with the coconut coir, maybe an inch or less on top here. But just enough to kind of smother out any of those larvae from hatching, especially if they're fruit fly larvae. It's really hard to know exactly what they are, but I want to discourage that at all cost. But like I've been saying, these 10-gallon bins are so much easier to carry around, and that's why I'm trying to transition all to 10-gallon bins. Just much, much easier to carry around, move around, and you know, we did lots and lots of holes, so hopefully they'll have plenty of aeration. We'll keep an eye on it, and I will leave the lid off for tonight. I do think I'll sprinkle a little bit of eggshell across the top, and I think that's going to be it. Okay, so we finished our African nightcrawler bins, topped them with some crushed eggshell, and I have Nick with me. This is my brother. He's the one who helped me drill these holes and get this all set up today. So we're going to leave it for another week, guys. Let the worms do their thing, and we will get them fed up next week. But thank you, Nick, for coming and helping. And I wanted to shout out Jay from Miles of Worms. Jay has a brand new channel, well, relatively new channel, some awesome bins. He has a zombie bin, a vase bin, really, really cool. I'm going to get Nick to watch some of his videos. Maybe he'll participate a little bit more in my worm hobby. But I wanted to thank you guys for watching. Drop those comments below, and I'll be back with you guys next week for an update.